Hello everyone, welcome back to ByteRipple. In today's lecture, we'll be looking into HTML text formatting, making your text stand out on the web page. Without any further delay, let's get into today's lecture. HTML text formatting simply involves helping you highlight, emphasize, or create specific style paths on your web page or a particular text on your website. So HTML text formatting simply gives meaning to our content, making important word bold, making it display in a scientific or a mathematical way. We could use different HTML text formatters to represent this. So in our subsequent slide, we'll see the reason why formatting is very important when it comes to web development, especially for websites that are created or made for content presentation, like a blog website or a news website, and so many other websites that requires management of content. So why does formatting matters? It's simply to improve readability on our websites, to add meaning to our websites, and also to create a useful special content. Like I mentioned earlier, there are some websites that are just meant for news, and those websites requires a particular way of presenting the content on that website. So it helps user notice key part of their text. Elements like strong and bold and emphasize provide semantic value for screen readers. Screen readers are simply people with disabilities that uses the website often. We also see that there are other elements like the subscript, the superscript, which are used to highlight text and create a meaningful content for websites or text service. So these are the key examples of the text formatters we have in web development. We have the bold text, we have the italic text, we have the small text, insert, underline text, superscript and subscript, delete text, marked, highlighted text, and so on and so forth. In our demo, we are going to see how this or each of these plays out on a real life website, and we might eventually in the future use them in building our full website. So now we'll be going into demo. Let's get our hands dirty and do some practical today. And without wasting too much of our time, let's go. Now I'm on my screen. As you can see, I think by now you should be able to know how to navigate and open your VS Code on your screen. Okay, so in our last class, we actually looked at HTML internal and external styling, inline styling, and how to style our HTML content. But today we'll be looking into HTML formatting. Excuse me. Okay, now I'm here. I think let's check to make sure that we have the right format here. I think there is an issue. So we didn't have a closing tag, so let's add a closing tag body. Okay, and let's move this here. You can simply Ctrl X and paste it here, Ctrl V, and that's it. So let's take off this extra closing tag. Now today we are doing something different. Practicing how to apply different HTML formatters on our web page. So let's do the bold format. So the HTML, so let me write a comment here. So let's start with the bold. So I'm going to be using the bold element, HTML element, so which stands for B, simply B. So we said this text is bold. Okay, and when we see, let's check our terminal, we'll refresh. let's reopen this on live server, and now we see this text is bold. So this text is bold, is here. Let me see if I can add a comment here. Just a sec. Text, let's see, text formatting tags. Okay. Yeah, and that's not actually the the original way of writing a comment, but I need to figure out, I got a new PC, so I need to figure out the formatting, the right keystrokes to use. So the next is going to be the strong tag, the strong HTML tag. So the strong, I said the other time that we use it to express. The bold is different from the strong. So the difference now is that the bold does not give more emphasis to a particular text, while the strong gives more emphasis, or importance rather, not emphasis, importance, because emphasis is another type of text formatter, which is what we are going to be looking at. So if we refresh, we should see something like, let's say, open with live server, refresh. We can see now. So we actually have two texts, and we can see here that what I did for the formatting or for the comment is not working. So let's get rid of it, and let's refresh again. This browser does not auto refresh. I don't know why that is. So let's open with live server again. Now we have two text formatters, and we can see that they are inline. Okay, they are not block level, they are inline, so they are on the same line. So what can we do to remove that? So we simply use a simple element called break. We use break. So we use break to break the contents, and we see that we now have them on different as a block level element now. So we can see here how the text looks like. So the next one we are going to be looking at is what the the mark. So the mark element is just to show that a particular content or sentence is highlighted on our website, and we see that here. And let's add another break here, BR. Okay, and we should have a block level, so it should be block. Now this whole text is break, and next is going to be I think we've seen bold, strong, then we could see italics too. Italic is also a type of element that we have, text formatters that we have in web development. So, and we see here that the text is italic, and there are others like that, like I've mentioned the other time. We also have the mark, we have the highlight italic, then we have the delete as well. The delete text. So delete is also there, and we can also use that. So, and I think basically these are all the text formatters that we have. So we have this to be italic, text is italic, because we don't have the closing tag here. So the opening tag rather is not there, so that's why it's showing like that. So let me reopen it again, and we should see that, yeah, this text is deleted. And we also have the underline. There are a lot of them, HTML text formatters, and these are just a few we are going to be talking about today. Now, subsequent classes we see more of HTML text formatting. So until then, keep learning, keep coding, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye. Before we go, I would like to give you some challenge to work on. So I want you to create a small paragraph about yourself and include one bold text, one italic text, one bold marked text, a superscript and subscript. For instance, you could have a section where you introduce yourself using at least 4 of these formatting elements. So this way you are able to also understand how they all work together and how it brings meaning to our content on the website. In conclusion, for today's lecture, we look into HTML text formatting, and we see that it helps us to add emphasis, creates meaning, and helps in structuring our content or text on our websites. We also see that it helps to make our content clearer, more accessible, and more visually appealing. In our subsequent class, we'll be looking more into HTML comments, HTML tags, images, and so on and so forth until we are done with this HTML series in our web development journey with ByteRipple. So keep coding, keep learning, and I will see you in the next one. God bless.